My 15-year-old daughter called me sobbing from a farmer's market. 6 strangers had cornered her, screaming about her dead father's orphaned babies. The babies he had with the woman he cheated on me with. And those women, sent by my ex-in-laws. That was the moment I knew. They wanted a war, and I was going to give them one they'd never forget. If you've ever been underestimated, manipulated, or made to feel like the villain for someone else's sins, then hit that like button and subscribe, because this story is your kind of justice. This is the kind of revenge that makes karma look polite. I'm 46, a mom to 2 amazing daughters, 17 and 15. We've been through hell this past year. Why? My ex-husband, may he rest in, well, whatever, died suddenly in an accident. Sounds tragic, right? But it gets complicated. See, he didn't just leave behind memories. He left behind 2 sons, children he fathered in an affair while we were still married. And their mother? She died too. Boom, just like that, I was a widow, dealing with the fallout of a double life. But the real nightmare? It didn't start until the funeral was over. His parents, my former in-laws, decided that not only should they take custody of my daughters, yes, my daughters, but also they wanted to move in with us, like our grief and trauma were just a logistical inconvenience. I said no. They didn't take it well. We're still fighting them in court over custody. But let me be clear. They will never live under my roof. It was my youngest daughter's birthday. We didn't plan a big party yet, so I gave her a little budget and took her to our town's charming farmer's market. Fresh fruit, baked goods, artisan candies. She lit up like a kid on Christmas. After an hour, I noticed she hadn't returned. I was about to call her when my phone rang first. She was sobbing. She could barely speak. Through the tears, she told me a group of strange old women had surrounded her, berating her, condemning her. Why? Because she didn't want to honor her Christian grandparents or be a good big sister to her poor orphaned baby brothers. I froze, then rage took over. My eldest daughter and I ran, weaving through booths, searching. And then we saw her, my baby girl, curled against a wall, trembling. 6 older women stood around her, preaching, pointing, judging. My heart nearly exploded. I stepped between them and my daughter with the fury of a mama grizzly, told my eldest to gather the sweets her sister had picked and go straight to the car. Then I turned and unleashed everything I'd held back for months. The women didn't back down. Some of them I even recognized from the church my ex's parents dragged us to years ago. One hissed that I was the problem for refusing to obey my elders, like a good Christian wife should. It escalated so loudly, security asked all of us to leave. But the women, they followed us to my car, like vultures shadowing prey. I locked the doors, took one last look at their faces, and drove off. But I wasn't just angry anymore. I was ready. That night, after my girls went to bed, I messaged a friend from that same church. Someone still sane? He apologized and then he spilled everything. Apparently, my ex-mother-in-law had posted this sob story in the church's Facebook group. She painted us, me and my daughters, as villains. According to her, we'd kicked them out, left them homeless and penniless, and refused to care for their poor orphaned grandchildren. But here's the kicker. She said those 2 boys were the result of a surrogacy, because I couldn't have any more kids. She even claimed I rejected them because they were boys. I nearly vomited. All that emotional abuse, all that public shaming, all those strangers confronting my grieving daughter, built on a lie so disgusting it burned through my soul. And then I remembered something. I had receipts, lots of them. See, when my ex died, we were still mid-divorce, which meant I wasn't legally restricted from sharing anything. No gag order, no NDA, no court ruling, and I had everything. Photos of my ex with his affair partner in our home, text messages between them, graphic and incriminating. Messages where his parents not only knew about the cheating, they supported it. Screenshots of harassment from them, bullying my daughters about their baby brothers. Emails where they called my girls bastards and blamed them for their father's death. Just 2 days after the accident, I spent the next morning at a print shop, paid extra for high-gloss, high-quality prints. I wasn't just exposing them. I was publishing their downfall. When I got home, I sat for hours creating custom binders. But not just any binders, oh no. They were designed to look like church hymnals. The front cover, neutral, sweet, like every other booklet at that church. But the first page? A full-size image of my ex making out with his mistress. In my living room, faces visible. Captioned, ex's name and affair partner's name, a love story. Then page after page, the truth unfolded. Texts, emails, quotes, screenshots, confessions, my masterpiece. The next Sunday before service, I dropped off those binders at the church. See, they have a table in the back with songbooks for those who forget theirs, and no one checks them. Within 30 minutes, the gossip exploded. I didn't even have to be there. Facebook blew up. Comments started pouring in, some of them so brutal that the pastor had to intervene to stop the profanity. The congregation was furious. My ex and his mistress were called names I can't even repeat here. Let's just say Jezebel was the kindest one. People turned on my ex-in-laws hard, especially after seeing the way they bullied my daughters. But here's the part that really made me laugh. Some people still said I strayed from my duties as a wife. But they understood why I failed after such betrayal. They said I might return to the light someday, unlike my ex and his side piece who were too far gone. I even got apology letters in the mail addressed to my daughters, and an invitation to rejoin the church for support and healing. My ex-mother-in-law made one final post on her wall, whining about how no one respects the elderly anymore. She cried about how her wonderful son would have taken care of her. With what money, lady? I was the breadwinner. You raised a liar. And in case you're wondering, yes, my daughters got the last laugh. They're still healing, but they saw their truth finally win. And that's more healing than 100 therapy sessions. Sometimes, justice doesn't show up wearing a robe and swinging a gavel. Sometimes, it shows up in a hymnal binder. People love to play victim when they're the villain. But truth? Truth is louder than lies when you know where to print it. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and let us know in the comments. What would you have done in this situation? And don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping tales of justice, karma, and revenge done right.